Tony G is looking down on pocket threes. Pre-flop. This looks like a completely standard spot that quietly plants the seeds for disaster. Harlow opens jacks, which is automatic. Tony G peels on the button with pocket threes, happy to take a flop in position and try to flop a set. And Mercier comes along from the blinds with 6-5, a classic speculative hand that plays very well in multi-way pots. No one is doing anything out of line, but the ranges are now perfectly set up for a big cooler on the right texture. That texture arrives immediately. The flop comes as a dream for both Tony and Mercier in very different ways. Tony has flopped bottom set, which against a late position open and a bunch of callers is usually miles ahead and wants to start shoveling money into the middle. Mercier, however, has the 6-5 and quietly flops the straight. When Mercier checks, Harlow does what every pre-flop raiser should do on this board and fires 4,000 for value and protection with his overpair. Tony's raise to 12,000 is textbook with a set on such a wet board. He charges all the straight in combo draws, and he happily gets action from overpairs like jacks, queens, or kings. Mercier now springs the trap, check re-raising to 29,000. From his seat, this sizing builds the pot while still looking like it could be a draw or a smaller made hand, and it gives Harlow a chance to make a mistake behind. Harlow correctly gets out of the way, leaving Tony and Mercier heads up. Once Harlow folds, Tony's decision...
Tony puts them all in.
Oh.
Quick call from Jason.
Wow, what a flop.
I just run it once. Better for the TV viewer.
Good luck, boys.
Tony will need the board to pair.
It doesn't on the turn.
I want to feel his heart rate. Jason.
Feel mine.
Yours, we're not, whatever, Yours is gonna ding, ding, ding. His is like ding, ding. Close your eyes, kid. You'll know by the reaction.
The river. The 6 of clubs.
113.
Daniel Negreanu is looking down on pocket sevens. Pre-flop. This is one of those old-school tension spots where everyone at the table knows something big is brewing before the cards even hit the felt. Hellmuth opens to 900 with whatever he has,
Go on, Phil.
doing his usual, I'm supposed to win every pot routine. That small raise size in a deep cash game invites action, and Negreanu obliges by re-raising to 3,200 with pocket sevens. For Negreanu, this is a classic squeeze hand. He is on the lighter end of a value range, but against Phil's wide open and the dead money in the middle, sevens play nicely as a pressure tool, strong enough to call a 4-bet if it is small, but also perfect for picking up the pot uncontested a lot of the time. Then Doyle wakes up behind them with pocket jacks and makes it 11,700. That sizing is important. It is big enough to say, I am not messing around, but not so big that it shuts the hand down. From Doyle's point of view, jacks are way too good to just call and risk letting Hellmuth or others peel cheap.
Good chance you'll get it all, buddy.
Yeah, I'm thinking that. I'm just counting it up here. You got 80, it's 85 more?
He wants to isolate Negreanu, punish the lighter 3-bet, and take control of the pot with position.
Okay, I'll raise it.
There goes Doyle. He's all in.
Once or twice, Doyle.
It's like one of those days I've...
Daniel calls.
It's up to you.
I'll do twice.
What is 37-2?
37-2 each? Is that what you got, 37-2?
Are you paired?
Yeah, I'm paired. You're not paired?
Yeah, I am.
Uh-oh, that's bad for me. Okay, I was hoping you had ace-king.
All right, guys.
All right, put a 7 out there and then a straight.
The flop, 4 queen deuce.
That's a good flop for Doyle.
Ace on the turn.
I just like to double Doyle up. That's what I do. Gets short, I feel bad.
It's a 9.
One for the good guys.
Hey, Doyle, what you always say is always feel good to what?
To win the first one.
Oh, man.
That's the one. There it is in the door. You got a diamond draw. It's always exciting. I knew I was going to hit at least 1 7.
No diamonds here.
No diamonds? There's like no way.
No, there's no
doesn't
diamonds
count.
here, I'm saying.
Diamond or jack's gonna count.
It's got to be a diamond for sure. Diamond.
It's not a diamond. It's a 5 of spades.
5 of diamonds.
I took one of them away.
More than 22% because there's 5 dead cards right here.
Thanks, Phil. There you go.
There it
Boom,
is.
boom. Nice hand.
Lunkin is looking down on pocket sixes. Pre-flop, this is a classic slow-played trap setting itself up. Mike opens under the gun with king-queen offsuit, which is completely standard at these stack depths. It is a strong Broadway hand, dominates a lot of the calling range, and plays very cleanly post-flop. In the small blind, Lunkin just calls with pocket sixes. That flat looks harmless, but it is already dangerous for Mike. Small and medium pairs love to see flops, especially against an early position raiser whose range is heavy on big cards. O'Dwyer completes in the big blind with King-Jack, getting a great price in closing the action. The flop comes paired rainbow. It is one of those rare boards where everyone hits something but one player is hiding a huge hand. Mike absolutely smashes it with trip queens and top kicker. Against two blinds who defended and checked to him, his continuation bet for $250,000 is automatic. He gets value from worse queens, pocket pairs, and random floats, while also denying equity from overcards and backdoor draws. What he does not know is that Lunkin has flopped a full house. After checking, Lunkin now springs the first part of the trap and raises to $750,000. That raise is doing two jobs at once. It builds a pot with a monster, and it tells a story of a semi-bluff or a weaker queen, not the very top of range. O'Dwyer correctly gets out of the way with King-Jack, but Mike is in a very tough spot. Folding trip queens with top kicker to a single raise on this texture is almost impossible. The turn is the 8 of spades, a complete brick for the core battle between these two ranges. The paired queen and the 6 still matter most, and any aggressive action now is heavily weighted toward value. Lunkin leads for $1 million into a pot that is already swollen, and that sizing is perfect. It is big enough to put serious pressure on Mike's medium-strength hands.
He shoves.
I call.
Close enough. Mike McDonald drawing thin.
Did he say 6 or sucks?
He needs a king, queen, or 8. He's got 6 outs. The river card. It's the case 6!
He should have said queen.
Set. We have a straddle.
Okay.
What's this?
This is $28.
$28?
$28.
Pre-flop, this is Negreanu's dream scenario. Pocket aces on a loose table and Viffer in the blinds doing Viffer things.
If you check, I'm going to bet this one. I'm going to Barry G it.
All right. I don't want to check then.
Oh, I'm going to probably raise you.
The flop comes aboard that quietly does both players a favor.
That's not even a check. It's like just a waste of space.
Viffer hits bottom pair with backdoor spades, just enough to feel involved, while Negreanu's aces are still comfortably ahead of all the random one pair and draw heavy holdings Viffer can show up with.
How much is that?
54.
That pre-flop 400 is already out there, and now Negreanu bumps it to 5,400, essentially saying, if your dark action meant anything, prove it. The turn brings a real problem card for Negreanu. Viffer now picks up a live flush draw on top of his pair, and the board suddenly connects with a lot of the speculative stuff he can have. Negreanu makes it 12,400, a disciplined value bet that also charges all those new draws. Viffer now springs the real pressure.
Why do you always raise me?
You're not really betting. That's not really a bet.
Bumping it to 41,400. That raise is doing two things. With his actual hand, it is semi-bluffing for maximum equity realization, and in terms of image, it is telling Negreanu, I'm not just clicking buttons, I can absolutely have two pair, a set, or a strong combo draw. Folding aces to this guy on this card feels painful.
Interesting card coming.
And with position and stack behind, Negreanu decides to call and take a river.
Oh my God. What are you doing, Viffer? He's mashing my brain into bits.
Missed spades stay missed. 7 to 8 gets there, but is only one of many possible draws.
Oh boy. I really wish you would have bet like 50 or 60,000. Oh, this is gonna be so pansy-like. I'm the biggest pansy of all time. I'm such a chicken, only because you're so creative and tricky and all this funky stuff. You could actually bet 400, hope I make a legit raise, and then just boom, blow me off the hand. And I'm too scared of that. Just flat out, fear. This is just a fear call.
He calls.
That means this will make the highlight reels.
What do you got?
Nothing, of course.
Oh, good. That's good for me. I almost folded, I swear. I really did.
Have a 3.
I almost folded, I absolutely swear. No, I mean, not on the river, but...
Katz is holding 7-4 suited. Pre-flop, this heads-up pot begins exactly the way high-level players expect it to. Katz opens the small blind with 7-4 suited, raising to 240,000. In a full ring game, that hand is usually folded, but heads up, ranges widen dramatically. The flop comes, and on the surface it feels like Bonomo has won the lottery. He checks to the razor, which fits normal strategy. Katz is expected to continuation bet frequently. Katz, however, has hit something better. With his 7, he has essentially the nuts, unless Bonomo draws another ace, and if by any miracle another 7 comes, it will be the perfect opportunity to trap Bonomo. By checking, Katz keeps his range looking capped and gives Bonomo full freedom to start telling a value story on later streets. The turn is the 5, which changes very little for the core battle between the two ranges. Draws do not really improve in a meaningful way. The board is still defined by the ace and the 7s. Now Bonomo steps out with a bet of 275,000. From his point of view, this is a natural value bet and protection play. Katz just calls. Raising the turn would advertise real strength on a board that is already hard to bluff. The river brings the final 7, putting quads on the board. This is where the hand becomes psychologically difficult for Bonomo. From his seat, he now has a full house, aces full of 7s. In a vacuum that is extremely strong, and it is easy to assume that the opponent rarely shows up with the one remaining 7 that beats it. He bets 400,000 into roughly 1.1 million, a sizing that looks like thin value targeting weaker aces and maybe stubborn pocket pairs. It is not overly large, which helps encourage crying calls and, crucially, can tempt an aggressive player into turning something into a bluff raise. Katz, holding the unique 7 that actually plays, now springs the final part of the trap. From his perspective, the line makes perfect sense. He checked the flop, flatted the turn, and now when the board pairs again, he applies maximum pressure.
Call. Bonomo calls. And now, the amateur has the advantage in this heads-up battle.
Daniel Negreanu is holding pocket aces, pre-flop.
The vibe of the people?
No, just the way the country's structured because of it's a Commonwealth as well. It's a Commonwealth country.
Okay, like, yeah, in those regards.
It used to be a British colony, so the legal system's very similar.
Hashem and Viffer call.
Canada and Australia, very similar.
Very similar.
We have so many things in common.
Both share a mutual love of Paul Hogan and Jim Carrey.
The corruption is very low.
Pre-flop. This is a classic straddle pot goes wrong for the caller setup. 3 players limp into Negreanu's live straddle, and when the action gets back to him, he wakes up with aces. From his point of view, this is perfect. The pot is already juiced, ranges are capped and weak, and he can punish all the limpers in one move. He bumps it to 5,000, which is a big sizing, but exactly what you won with a premium out of the straddle. Fold out the absolute trash, isolate 1 or 2 players, and build a pot where your strong overpair can get paid.
Look at that. We lost Viffer and Tony G.
Hashem peels with pocket 4s, and that call already tells you a lot.
I didn't think we'd get that many out. Thought we'd have a family.
He is not calling to see what happens. With a random hand, small pairs in position against a very aggressive Negreanu are there to try to flop a set or use Negreanu's image against him on low coordinated boards. The flop comes structurally much better for Negreanu than for Hashem. All the overpairs and big Broadway hands live in Negreanu's range. Hashem has a lot more small pairs and suited connectors that either whiff or pick up thin draws. The turn is the 10 of spades, which changes the texture far more for Hashem than for Negreanu. A lot of Negreanu's one-barrel bluffs pick up equity here. Hands like Queen-Jack in the front door spade draw is now very real. Instead of double-barreling, though, Negreanu checks. That check is sophisticated. With aces, he does not block any of the flushes, and this card massively improves Hashem's ability to represent something big if more money goes in. Negreanu now slides out 12,500, a river bet that is more about clean value and pressure than thin hope. He knows Hashem's range is capped after the turn check, made up of exactly the sort of mid-pair and showdown-hungry hands that hate facing one more bet.
We're going to be 1-1 after this hand. You have to show me if you're bluffing, right?
Hashem folds.
Come on, I showed you.
Showed the ace. One of them.
Card.
That'll do.
That was good?
No, that wasn't good. But...
That was like the same as not showing.